Hi everyone, I'll be appearing as a swordman Kunishige Masabumi in a movie coming out soon called BARAGAKI Unbroken Samurai, directed by Harada Masato. It is about a group of samurai called Shinsengumi, and I very much want to tell you about them. It is based on events that take place at the end of Edo period. I will give just a brief overview of the historical events in today's video. I will talk about what was Shinsengumi. Okay, let's go! When Japan was forced to open its borders by the West after 200 years of isolation, the government began to waver. The samurai who saw this became very upset at Japan's weakness. Many people supported these samurai, including farmers and the young generation. Together, they decided to expel the foreigners. The country became divided into two camps: those who wanted to open the borders and those who wanted to expel the foreigners. As the country began to waver, people who wanted to overthrow the government began to start a movement. They became the police of the feudal government, capturing rebels and maintaining peace in Kyoto. They were originally formed to guard the shogun, and they were known as Roshigumi. Regardless of rank, whether you are a samurai or a farmer, if you are skilled with the sword and strong, you could become a member. In a time when you could only be a samurai if you were born into a samurai family, this must have felt very inspiring for many young men. They gathered in Kyoto, but suddenly they changed their mission. They had been told that samurai exist to serve the shogun, but they felt that this was meaningless. They disbanded and regrouped to form Shinsengumi, and with the support of the feudal lord Matsudaira Katamori, they became the police of Kyoto. By serving the feudal government, they are fulfilling their duty as samurai. They lived by the ideals of samurai, and their singularity of purpose has captured the hearts of Japan even to this day. Both Kondo Isami, the head of Shinsengumi, and Hijikata Toshizo, the second in command, were born farmers. They are considered heroes in Japan. They believe deeply in the concept of Makoto. It is difficult to translate, but it means something like truth, sincerity, honesty, the right path, the right way to live. And they devoted their lives to it. Makoto requires great courage, and to follow it, you cannot lie to yourself. However, in the end, the feudal government is defeated by the opposition forces. Shinsengumi members fight until the end, but are ultimately crushed and scattered. In this time, many people on both sides of this conflict had very strong conviction about the future of Japan. There were many colorful historical figures who came from different parts of Japanese society. So, I'd like to tell you about some of these interesting people from both sides. I have learned a great deal from this history. The issue of this time period causes you to think about what is truth when you consider how the world was changing. The question arises whether Shinsengumi was doing the right thing, and how do we know if our own conviction is correct? However, The Shinsengumi dedications to truth and the meaning of being a samurai that has captured the hearts of Japanese people. There were many members of Shinsengumi, but here I'll just introduce 3. They are main characters of the movie.
Te Shi, あいつやっちまうぜ。
The head of Shinsengumi, Kondo Isami. Even just by his appearance, he looks pretty strong. I think if he came at you with his kiai, I think most people would be overwhelmed, especially in a sword fight. He said, the most important thing when going into battle is your resolution. In the way, one must dedicate their lives to training their ki or energy. One must also train and strengthen one's resolution. You must go into battle with complete resolution.
勝てるか勝てないかやってみなければわからないよ。俺はもう勝敗のことは考えない。ただ命のある限り戦う。どうやら俺の面白い生涯がやっと幕を開けたようだ。
The second in command, Hijikata Toshizo. Wow. He was very popular within the Shinsengumi and is the protagonist in the movie. He's a nice guy and very wise and very calm. And actually, he made the Shinsengumi into a big organization and was a primary power broker behind the scenes. He was feared by all as the vice commander of Shinsengumi, but he was also a Japanese poet. So I think he's a kind and a gentleman. But he had to behave like that to lead the organization. We can learn a lot from how deep and strong his conviction, will, and resolution were.
あの猫、切れないよ。あの猫、切れないよ。
Okay, next, Shinsengumi, head of the first corps, Okita Soji. A genius of the sword. He dies at the age of 26 of tuberculosis, but his sword skill is legendary. One of his top strikes was Sandanzuki. It's a triple thrust. Just before he died, he tried to tameshigiri on a cat, but he couldn't, and he said the lines that I said earlier. There were many other famous figures, but today I have introduced just 3. The sword school was Tennen Rishindyu. The core member of Shinsengumi were from this school. Okay, now I'd like to show you triple thrust, Okita Soji's specialized technique. Actually, like this technique, very useful in real fight. Hijikata Toshizo was saying, if you can do shomen uchi thrust, that's enough. So let's try it. Okay, let's try to triple thrust in the 3 situations. How does it work like these techniques? First, I'll show you like this. This is what I'm always saying about thrust from your lower abdomen, right? I move from lower abdomen like this. Triple thrust. 1, 2, 3. This is useful in a real situation, especially in a small space. Let's try how does it work like this situation. What did you think of today's video? I spoke about Makoto today. The member of Shinsengumi followed what they believed to be their true path. What is your Makoto? Please let me know in the comment below. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye. ありがとうございました。Please comment below.